Hello everyone, this is My Hunting, where Halloween lives here. And we are back today with HalloweenCostumes.com. I just got back from vacation, so this came out, I want to say Thursday of last week. So it's been a little bit, just got back. So I wanted to do a video on this because this is huge, okay? Halloween costumes, for me, I'm gonna be honest, I am new to the industry. I followed a lot of like Haunt Farmer, other YouTubers, Pixelated Pumpkin, on these attractions and all this Halloween stuff. So I had heard of Halloween costumes. I just thought it was a costume website. I found out they actually started in 1992. Their founder, Tom, they have been doing big things. This year, I mean, they went all out. I mean, this year they had 45 Halloween animatronics released. That's a lot, okay? You know, in years past when I was growing up, they had Spirit Halloween, they had Halloween USA, Halloween City. Eventually in my town, Halloween City went away. Halloween USA went away. We have Spirit Halloween, and unfortunately we do not have Party City. But we do have HalloweenCostumes.com as well. Now, it's kind of cool to see other companies get into this Halloween mix where you have Spirit Halloween. They used to be, you know, the big guys. They were the ones that did Halloween. You know, but now you're starting to get Home Depot a couple years ago, you know, when COVID started in 2020 and they're doing the big skeletons. Now Lowe's and Home Depot are getting a part of this. And Michael's is doing the home decor. And now you have Menards, and then you also have Halloween Costumes. I mean, Halloween Costumes was always doing it, but when I saw that they were going to do 45, that is just awesome. So I don't want to take much of your time because I do want to do the reviews on the animatronics. A lot of these are licensed characters. I feel that a lot of them are awesome, and I feel that a decent amount of them would be good just as like statues if you had them in like your man cave or say comic book store. So I want to go through all of them just because there is quite a bit. So without further ado, I'm just going to turn the camera over. We're going to go through each one. I'm going to try to give, you know, this is my first time seeing most of these. I tried to avoid any, you know, previous links or any type of going on their website, just so that way this could be my first interaction with you guys seeing them. I'm very excited, so let's just get into it. So we're going to turn this over here. We're going to make sure you can see it good. I'm going to back this up here. So here we have HalloweenCostumes.com, and obviously you have their launch 2026 here on the side. So we're going to go to shop now. And as you can see, they have a ton of animatronics. Like, my goodness. So I'm literally going to go one by one down the line because holy crap. You know, it's just a lot. So first we'll start with the Joker. This is from Dark Knight, made by Chris Nolan. He is, well, right now, he's currently out of stock, but they will definitely get him more. He is for $29.99. Obviously, when you see the Joker, it's him in the very beginning where he goes up to the mob gang and he's like, let's not blow this out of proportion. You know, it's very well done. Like, this standing alone would be fantastic in a comic book shop, or say you're just a huge DC fan, huge Batman fan, okay? That is like, that's insane. I mean, I thought about picking him up myself. I'm a huge Batman fan. Heath Ledger's Joker was one of the all-time greatest villain performances we've ever had. I'll show you the video here.
Why so serious? How about a magic trick? You look nervous. Is it the scars? You want to know how I got them? Let's put a smile on that face. And now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling. Why so serious?
Okay, I love the dialogue they chose. They did the actual Heath Ledger dialogue, which is awesome. I'm glad they didn't choose anything else. I do like how his hand moves a little bit with the grenade pin, and then he opens his jacket up to reveal the grenades. This piece is fantastic. I mean, it's if you have a comic book shop, it needs to be in there. I don't know what else to say. It's just one of those ones where, like, if you're a huge Batman fan, definitely get it. If you're a huge Heath Ledger Joker fan, which there are tons, get it. It's amazing. We're gonna go now to Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Now this character obviously is very creepy. He's $249. I have seen a little bit of Lord of the Rings, mainly of just what was shown on TNT. I haven't seen a ton of it. I know it's very good. There are cult followings to this, especially with the books. I definitely need to get back into them and reread, and also, excuse me, I need to read the books. I haven't read them. And then I need to watch the movies, the extended versions, just so I can really take it all in. So this guy is actually, he's smaller in stature, which is, I mean, Gollum was smaller, but we're definitely, let's watch the video here.
It's exciting, precious life. Sneaker using his nerve. No, look, never. Sneaker hates nasty audiences. Sneaker wants to see them. Dead. And we will. Sneaker did it once. He can do it again.
Now, I love that. Obviously, it shows the ring, shows Gollum and his fascination with the ring, and he absolutely loves it. And this, if you are a huge Lord of the Rings fan, this needs to be in your collection. This is very, I mean, this is probably as close as you're going to get to a Gollum animatronic without going way over budget. I mean, this, for $250, it's perfect. I wish I was more of a Lord of the Rings fan. I know it's a fantastic story. It's just really well done. Now this here we have, it's called Poppy Playtime. This is from Huggy Wuggy. Personally, I do not know too much about this. The main thing when I see this character is I do play Fortnite, so I recognize him from there. This I kind of put in the category of the Five Nights at Freddy's, or when I worked for FYE, we had a lot of these new I would say cartoons or video games that were popular that came up. I remember Roblox came up a lot when I was working, or Five Nights at Freddy's. And then this here kind of fell into the same category as it with me. I mean, it's definitely creepy. It's not for me, but I know some people will love it because I mean, it's tall too. It's 7 foot. It's 7'5". That's taller than Shaq almost. So we're gonna watch this video. Okay, the shriek on that is definitely terrifying. I know if I was a little kid, I would not be a fan of this thing at all, especially with the glowing eyes and the mouth. That is terrifying, probably to a child. Um, but it's very well done. I mean, it's $349, but these animatronics, from what I've seen so far, are fantastic. Like, they are really rivaling the, Spirit Halloween, Home Depot, Lowe's. The fact they did the fact they did 45 is insane. But this, we're just gonna keep going because I could go on for that. This guy here is really cool. This is the Jeepers Creepers. This is the Creeper. This occurs in Florida. Now, this actually, I haven't seen it a ton, but the Jeepers Creepers movies, the first two are fantastic. I absolutely love this movie. It's really well done. The first opening scene with the car is just terrifying. You see the creeper kind of off in the distance, and you see what he's doing by the church. Let's view this video. He is for $350. He stands at 6.5 feet tall. Now, I absolutely love him. He, to me, looks almost identical to the movies, which is fantastic. He does the whistle, you know, the Jeepers Creepers whistle, and you have his wings and they sprout out, and the the axe. It's very well done. He's going to be a hot seller because there's also a big cult following behind this one alone horror movie. Now we have Other Mother from Coraline. Now, I've seen parts of Coraline. I need to go back and rewatch it. I know the premise behind her is terrifying and like this other world, this other version of her. I, just by seeing this alone, find her terrifying with the button eyes, and people like Wybie are replaced with button eyes. Like that to me reminds me of James and the Giant Peach, where that movie was absolutely, I couldn't watch it. The ants scared me. The version of the claymation scared me kind of a lot of like early term Tim Burton did when I was a child. Now I absolutely love it. But let's get into this. This is 7.25 feet. He runs for 350, or excuse me, she.
I'll give you to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3!
Okay, if you were to put this in, like, say you did like a child's room in like a haunted house, and you walk into the bedroom, and then this, other mother is there, like that is, I'm sorry, that's some nightmare fuel right there. I don't, I'm not gonna get into that. That's just creepy. Okay, that's probably why I haven't watched Coraline. It's disturbing. It's definitely gets you. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. Now, this I absolutely love. This is the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas. He's actually my favorite character in Nightmare Before Christmas. I know we always get a lot of NBC every single year, Halloween. And yeah, sometimes it is a bit much, but the mayor, I have always wanted to kind of have my own mayor animatronic. And the fact that his head spins is awesome. He's 6 foot tall, so let's see his voice. He runs for $300. That's a steal of a price for the mayor.
Great Halloween, everybody! No, thanks to you, Jack. Morning, gents. Jack, I've got the plans for next Halloween. I need to go over them with you so we can get started. Jack, please, I'm only an elected official here. I can't make decisions by myself.
Okay, I love that they chose that dialogue for the mayor. That's one of my favorite lines from the movie. He's only elected official. He can't make decisions for himself. And he's already got the plans for next Halloween. You see that every Halloween, like the day after, people are like, oh, I've got the plans for next Halloween. This is exactly what I'm talking about, the mayor. Now you have Zero. Now, I've seen a couple Zeros in the past where it was, I want to say it was a smaller animatronic. I want to say Home Depot did it. This guy for $130 is really great. If he moves around the floor like that, I'm sold. Like, I might have to pick him up immediately. Okay, I love how he doesn't really do too much in this, type of like speaking role is what you would say, or barking. I love his pumpkin nose, how it lights up. I mean, it's right on par with the movie. What I would do with him if I had Zero is I would stick him on like a Roomba or one of those vacuums to where he would basically go around my house and clean the house. He's very well done, and for 130, that is a steal to where it's pulled right out of the movie. You can't get any better. All right, we're going to keep going. So this is also Lord of the Rings. I believe this is the main guy. This is the Witch King for $350. Again, Lord of the Rings, cult following. It's going to sell. Let's see the video here.
You have failed. The world of men will fall. Do not come between the Nazgul and his prey. You fool. No man can kill
Okay, I love the shield and the armor he has, excuse me, the face mask and then the shoulder plates he has on along with the sword. The costume's all right for me. I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, so it doesn't really do too much for me. Now here's one that I have seen a ton that I know, speaking of cult followings, is going to go over like hotcakes. This is Dobby. Okay, Dobby was from the second or third Harry Potter, and it was just it's very memorable scene. You know, I remember going to the theater and watching Harry Potter, and me as a kid, you know, I always thought Dobby was kind of a nuisance, but obviously he is a lovable character, especially towards the end. For $250, he's going to sell very well, especially looking like he's pulled just off the movie screen. Let's watch the video.
You shall not harm Harry Potter. Dobby has to protect Harry Potter, to warn him. Harry Potter must not go back to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry this year. Master has presented Dobby with clothes. Dobby is free.
Okay, I love that they used, I'm pretty sure they used the same voice actor for Dobby who played Dobby in the movie. I love that they had included the sock to replicate that Dobby is a free elf. This is just, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know, or if you love, say, if you need like a movie theater piece in your home theater and you're a huge Harry Potter fan, stick him in there. It doesn't get much better than that. Now, this is also Lord of the Rings. This is Balrog. Now, he is 13 feet tall. Okay, that is massive. I know he is like the main boss that I want to say Gandalf the White fights towards the end, the You Shall Not Pass, which is really cool. Again, I need to do more Lord of the Rings research, obviously. He is for $25,000. There's 5 left. $25,000. My goodness. Like if you are Universal and you do like a Lord of the Rings type theme park, an expansion, pick him up, obviously, or somebody that has the money for this, definitely pick him up because he's okay. I haven't watched much Lord of the Rings and he's still very, very cool and it's just badass. Now let's watch this video. Okay, I love the application of, you know, it looks like they use the latex all the way around. It's not just like, these are not just felt, okay? And they used it on the back side too. It's not just some cheap like carpet or type of cloth. Like this guy is detailed to all hell, especially for $25,000. He better be. I mean, look at just the detail, the scratch marks and everything. Again, if you have the money and you love Lord of the Rings, that's your guy. Now this is another Poppy Playtime. This is Catnap. It's interesting. I'm a cat person myself, so I kind of like it just for that alone. For $400, we'll see. Let's see the video on this. I've never seen this guy. I mean, it's all right. I don't know about $400. I mean, I like the material he's made of. You can tell it's cloth. It's not just like really cheap, like almost kind of like that paper type cloth. It's really well done. I like the fog machine. I guess I'll have to get into Poppy Playtime and see what that's about because I mean, it's cool. I just, it's not for me. Now, this is Slender Man. Now, I actually really like Slender Man because in high school, I had a couple friends that did a Slender Man kind of documentary, like single episode called The Pages, that was really well done. And it was enjoyable to watch. So when I see this, it just brings back good memories. So for $300, that's reasonable. Let's see this video. Okay, so he's more of a static, more of like a statue. I know Slender Man has a cult following, especially with the internet, and he's 12 foot tall. Okay, so that is very, very cool. I'm not gonna get him, but I know there are crazy Slenderman fans out there that will definitely pick him up. Now let's go to the Ice King from Game of Thrones. Now this was portrayed by Richard Brake in Game of Thrones. I actually did not know that till I met him at a convention. And I loved Game of Thrones. It's one of my favorite all-time TV shows that was ever made. For $300, he's cool. I'm not the biggest Game of Thrones fan to actually have animatronics in my house, but to have like the edition on 4K, like the whole series, yes, that's what I'll do. But I just, I'm not the fan of having the whole, this type of animatronic. I'd much rather have kind of a generic Halloween one. That being said, I wish he had kind of like maybe a sword with him or pair him with like I don't know, something creepier than just raising his hands. But let's see the sound on it, see if it changes. Okay, he does have fog, so okay, that does change thing. It looks like winter and everything. Okay, he is very cool with the eyes and the Night King and the armor and the fog. Overall, really well done. If you had him in a storefront, people instantly know what this is without even if they haven't watched all of Game of Thrones, you know who this is. And it's just it's cool to see. Now, this Joker I absolutely love. I grew up watching the Batman the animated series. So this one pulls close to my heartstrings on this. He's 6.2 feet tall. So we're going to do the video here. I'm hoping they have the voice with him as well.
Welcome to Gotham's greatest spectacle. I hold in my hand a symbol, the Joker card. Now that's a nice touch. Here, have a souvenir. Catch!
Now, it is very cool that they included Harley along with the Joker. You obviously can't have one without the other. I do love that the voice acting on this, I'm pretty sure that's Mark Hamill. I would have maybe have done like the gun where it goes bang and have the thing shoot out rather than the card. Maybe a different option or some laughing gas. But still, if you're, again, a huge Batman fan, which is just a huge cult following, he's going to be sold pretty easily. Obviously, here is Harley. You got to have Joker's, main squeeze. So we're going to play her.
This time, baby, the joke's on you.
Okay, I like Harley a lot.
Miss me?
Especially when she says, "Hey, Puddin'," with Joker, and just, that's really well done. I like the gun that shoots bang. I wish I would do maybe a little bit quicker, but this would be more of like a statue for me, rather than a Halloween decoration. Halloween costumes, it looks like they've done licensing, and they've done all areas, which is great because they're gonna get a lot of fans going for multiple different areas. Now, this here is Sloth from the Goonies. I haven't seen the Goonies in a long time. It's an excellent movie, made by Spielberg. This is pretty cool. I mean, even if you're a movie theater, just sticking some of these props in that are really well recognized from like, the 80s, 90s are gonna bring people in, and they're just gonna want to take pictures with them. Yeah, let's see the video. He is $350.
Hey, you guys!
Obviously, he does his main "Who you guys saying?" I wish he maybe had a Snickers bar in his hand. That would be fantastic. But yeah, stick him in your movie theater. It's gonna go well. People are gonna take pictures with him. Now this here, Otherworldly Eye Actor Matronic by Brick Thunder. Now I know Brick Thunder was, well, he's a popular YouTube streamer, has a popular Halloween channel. So I believe this may have been designed by him. I actually am the first to know about designing your own animatronic. Well, excuse me, I'm not the first. This is the first time I've heard about designing your own animatronics. So this obviously must be from him. So far it looks really cool. I love kind of how it's like another world, like another doorway. Let's view this video. Brick Thunder, what he does. I do enjoy his videos, so I'm excited to see what he's came up with. Okay, if you had him in like a type of like old school laboratory, is something that like watches the guests, or is like a queue line, like advances the queue line forward somewhere kind of up high to where people can see him, but still it looks really realistic. The sounds it makes are just creepy. Okay, that is it sounds like how you hear I guess eyes in a movie. The only thing I can think of right now is Hostel, but um it's really well done. I like the little eyes on the sides. I like the retina here, and it's just kind of moving about. Definitely with a fog machine would be really cool behind it. It would kind of blend in these other eyes. I enjoy it. It's 2 foot tall. It's $350, but it is movable by a person behind it. I think it's well done. This here is the 25-foot tall Xenomorph Alien. Now I've seen Alien, and it's fantastic movie. It's one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. It's $600. I personally am not the biggest fan of blow molds. I know, excuse me, blow up animatronics, not blow molds, but a lot of people really do love these inflatables. I don't think there's no video with this guy, but I mean, if you're a huge Alien fan, if you got like a sci-fi theme going, or a crashed UFO in your yard, or I don't know, I'm thinking maybe like put it in like a parking lot of a haunt to draw people in for like a sci-fi theme. I'm thinking more of that lines, or what would bring people in. Now, this was a first when I saw this. It is a undead elephant animatronic. It was also done by Brick Thunder. This reminds me definitely something out of Rob Zombie, something that is definitely out there. I love the detail on the brain and the sides of the skull. And the fact that he's got a hand in his mouth is fantastic, in the trunk. I'm excited to hear what this guy sounds like. He runs for $350. Okay, so I love this elephant. I am a huge fan of. I don't do a carnival theme myself, but I do love carnival themes, like going to, for example, Cedar Point Hollow Weekends always does a carnival type theme, or they do a like a type of evil carnival theme. And so the elephant with obviously with the hand and the fact that he moves his tusk up and down and you can move him, it would be very, very cool to see, especially if you had him in the front of a carnival or just somewhere along the side, inside like a big tent. That, yeah, that's really well done. Maybe put a cage around him too as well, to where this looks like a giant cage around the elephant so they can't technically touch this, so it looks more realistic. Add some fog. Yeah, that's cool. And for $350, I expect to definitely see him out somewhere. Now, this is the Poltergeist clown. Now, I actually have not seen the original Poltergeist. I wanted to, I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know why. For $280, that's a steal. Let's view this video here. Okay, obviously, if you have fans of the movie, he's going to be terrifying. The fact that his eyes move, not just like left to right, but they kind of like go droop downwards, like he's looking down at you. That is, he's going to be terrifying to children. You know, it's so cool. Very well done. It makes me definitely want to watch the movie. Here we have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He is going to sell for a lot of reasons. Two of the main ones, obviously, is it's Ghostbusters, and two, who doesn't love the Marshmallow Man? And to me, it reminds me always of the Pillsbury Doughboy, but obviously it's the Stay Puft guy. He runs for $700. He has a video with him, so I think he moves and stuff. Let's see. Okay, he's so damn cool. He's gonna sell. It just reminded me of that scene in the movie where he comes in, he's trashing New York, and it's just, yeah, he'll be cool to see on people's front lawns. You know what's gonna happen. Edward Scissorhands. This is one of my favorite movies. Now, I know some people don't consider this a Halloween movie, or they consider this also a Christmas movie. I love Johnny Depp's portrayal in this, and obviously with Vincent Price and Winona Ryder. The soundtrack is, you can't beat it. I would love to have him in like a garden scene. So say like if you had like a bunch of foliage everywhere and a bunch of plants and like fake trees, you could have him near a bush. I love the fact that his scissors move. That's a big one. I'm hoping the soundtrack does include with him, because that would just make it kind of like a cool scene to have. Like put him near a bunch of foliage and like bushes, add some fog machines like you're walking outdoors into like a backyard in your haunt. That would, he's cool. Maybe put him in like, if you have like a greenhouse, or if you grow a bunch of plants in your house, that's where I would put him too. All right, now we have Ash, Army of Darkness. Now, I know who Ash is, and it's played by Bruce Campbell, and it's fantastic. I've only seen the first Evil Dead and then the remakes. I need to be honest, I need to watch more. As much as I love Halloween, I'm going to watch the other Evil Deads because they are amazing and they're campy, but they're also great horror movies, and it's just awesome. You're going to have a great time when you watch Evil Dead. You know that. And so let's see what this guy does here for $350. Now, I like that he has interchangeable arms, so you can place like the Necronomicon in his hand or the chainsaw. I wish he wasn't as plasticky. That's more of like a store display for me, but still pretty cool. Obviously, you have a 25-foot Leatherface. Leatherface for me gained like huge popularity. I want to say a couple years ago when Lowe's starting doing Leatherface and Home Depot, when there's 3 Leatherface animatronics at once that one year. And this would be cool if you had kind of like a butcher themed haunted house. You could stick him outside the haunt, or if you did kind of like a cattle farm, a haunted farm, that type. This is where I would see, the Leatherface going. I don't know if he makes any sound with the chainsaw. I mean, obviously, I would try to rig something up to do the same, or a leaf blower. Still pretty cool. I'm not the biggest inflatable guy myself. We have the hatching alien, obviously from the pod here. Okay, obviously, if you're a huge Alien fan, that's also a big cult following. It's one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made. You're going to want to get this piece, especially with the face hugger. I believe that's what that is. That's the hatching ovomorph. I apologize. I've only seen the first Alien and then just the Predator vs. Alien. It's still pretty cool. I know sci-fi fans are going to love it. Ah, yes, here is the Pretty Woman Leatherface. This, obviously, once again, stick him in a haunted cattle farm, haunted farm. I like how he does the motion. I wish he would do the full motion all the way around. Obviously, that'd be pretty hard to do on the gears, but let's see this video. Okay, what I love about him is that he shakes with the chainsaw, and this shakes a little bit with the fog, and his head goes back and forth, because it looks like he's almost out of the movie when you see Texas Chainsaw, rather than if he just lifted his arms and this just stayed stagnant. These at least move, and he kind of does the, shaking motion. That, to me, is really cool. Texas Chainsaw, if you haven't seen them, those are excellent movies. They are terrifying. That guy's gonna sell like hotcakes. Of course, next we have our, it looks like we got some repeats. I just want to make sure I stick to all of them. What I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna go to mainly just the animatronics, because some of these are decorations. So I wanted to focus mainly on just the animatronics, if that's okay. Now this guy is cool. It's Carnivore Clown. He's $350. I'm excited to see what this guy does. I love the face, like the detailing, especially the sculpting here on the chin, the forehead. Let's see what he does here.
Want to see what the babies in my belly dream about? They laugh when I eat. Can you hear them giggle?
So, I'm not the biggest fan of the audio. I would have liked it if he would have just been laughing, and he lifts up his stomach, and maybe you see some, I don't know, like fake body parts in there or something. I mean, this part is cool with the lighting and the ball pit. It's a little out there for me. Let's go here, back to animatronics. We have Jack the Sinister Smiling Clown. Looks like he's got like a voice box or like a speaker here.
Dating's hard when you're a clown. Women say they want someone who can make them laugh until you show up at the window at 3 a.m. with balloons.
No, actually, this guy I really like. I like how he has his mouth sewn shut, and the only mouth that is talking is the one on the speaker. I really like how in the beginning when it does like the microphone sound and you hear this register like it's an actual speaker, that is fantastic. His face sculpting to me is really well done. I probably would have done a little bit different audio or do more jokes instead of just, I don't know if he'll do just the one. But overall, I mean, I love the sculpt on him. He's going to be really cool in a carnival theme. I'm hoping that you can do your own jokes with him or record your own, but we'll see. And I normally don't go for clowns, but that guy was pretty cool. That was something. Trying to see, okay. I'm trying to see, make sure I get all of them for you guys. So I'm just gonna go back to Halloween decorations. I wanna make sure I cover everything. So here we have another alien xenomorph. We have an alien that is bursting through a door. Again, you know, alien, huge cult following, sci-fi. This is just plain cool. Okay, what I love about him is that I've noticed a lot of their animatronics right now, they have where they're actor powered and they could go on like a side of a wall. So say if you have a ton of fog in the area and you're doing like a space theme or sci-fi theme, and all of a sudden you have, you know, the xenomorph just pop out and then you have him move, especially stick the little guy out. That's awesome. I like how you can almost fit him right into the side of a paneling of a wall. When you do your haunted house. This here we have the soul snatching clown. I like how he lights up. That's just plain creepy if that's supposed to be a soul in there. Let's see what the video does.
With these eyes, I can see through your soul. But with this hand, I can reach through you and separate your soul from your flesh and bones.
Okay, I actually really like the audio that is done for the clown. I think it's really well done, especially the screams. I would have probably maybe changed the coloring on this, maybe to red. I don't know, the hand thing is kind of odd to me, but it's not bad. It's just not my thing. I mean, clowns I only do so much of. Now we have Narcoleptic Nana, the face-pinching clown. Looks like this is a grandma clown, and looks like that's that's a face. So this should be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing this.
It's tiring chasing after you kids.
So to me, the audio on this is a little unique. I probably wouldn't have gone with the audio. I'm not sold on this. This is the grandma clown that peels off faces, the pinching clown. I guess I get the concept of, oh, it's a grandma and, you know, they pinch cheeks really hard. I don't know why it had to be a clown. I would have rather had it been a creepy, like very creepy old lady. And then the pinching cheeks thing might have worked. I think that since it was a clown, it kind of threw me off a little bit. Or maybe do like a tooth fairy and she's like collecting teeth, and she's this haunted tooth fairy. I don't think that's been done before. That would be cool. I know there's a horror movie about the tooth fairy. Then we have a blow up here of the Huggy Wuggy. So I'm gonna skip over the blow ups just because, you know, we've seen them. Trying to make sure I get just the new stuff for you guys here. I believe this is all. I want to make sure this is just all the new stuff. Okay, so this is the 2026. Just wanted to make sure. Now we have the Doll Maker's Curse. Now I love this. Reminds me of, I mean, it reminds me of Hellraiser and Pinhead, but it's cool on how this could be like a haunted doll factory guy, worker, you know, a doll maker, and he makes these haunted dolls. I could see like a really cool story behind that. Let's see this video.
Let the thread carry the curse in and out, like a dying breath. We're going out the terror tonight.
Okay, I actually really love this animatronic. If you put him in if you do like a haunted farm or say like an asylum, and you have a bunch of dolls all over the walls and everything, and you put him in the corner, put some fog machines or maybe I wouldn't say a strobe light, that is really well done. Like he's the one that's making all these haunted dolls, and this is the one that pops up. That could be really well done, especially with some fog around him. And for $300, I'd say he's worth it. That is really cool, especially the texture on the face here, the gloves. I really enjoy this one. All right, next we have Tantrum Tina, the disturbing doll. Already, like the whole Victorian get-up, the clothing is pretty freaky. I want to see what she does here. For only $100, you can't beat it.
No, I don't want to. No, you can't make me. I hate you.
Okay, so when I first saw this prop, I was not a fan, but I like how they have the audio that continues, especially with the evil laugh. That reminds me of something straight out of The Exorcist. It is very well done. For $100, that is a steal. If you have this in a haunted playroom area or like a children's room, and you have this in the corner, that's terrifying. Okay, this is, if I owned a like a haunted house, I mainly do like the yard stuff, but if I owned a haunted house, I would pick her up immediately and stick her in there, because that's creepy. Okay, I don't know, for me, I just find that type just, yeah, that's creepy. We have Archibald Tinkerdoom, the Mad Scientist. Now, you know me, I do love Mad Scientist. Obviously, with Distortions, they did their Mad Scientist that I absolutely lost it over. That guy was pulled right out of my nightmares, basically. So I do love the exposed brain and the chemicals here. Looks like he's mixed some. He's got some all over his shirt. Let's see his video here.
This machine harnesses raw fear, and this is the perfect time to collect. You scream, and it powers my lab forever. Now go on, give me your loudest shriek for science.
I love the Mad Scientist. I think, okay, it reminds me a lot definitely of Monsters, Inc. in the beginning with screams, but if you put him at the beginning of a haunt, like with, again, you do a sci-fi theme or a haunted lab, and you have him at the very beginning, kind of off in the corner with some fog, and kind of like an introduction to what the haunt is going to be, kind of like the theme. Very well done. I think he is going to be a good seller. I would definitely pick him up. a 25-foot. So you have a 15-foot Huggy Wuggy. Now you have a 25-foot Huggy Wuggy. I mean, it's cool. I'm just not. I don't know, man. Now you have Mungo the Mutant Fly. Now, I believe this is from the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, I believe it is. I actually have never seen this movie. It's on my list to watch it. I know big sci-fi fans love it. Looks like a lot of sci-fi this year, which is fantastic. I'm excited to see this one. Now, I love this mutant fly because you could pair him with the fly from Spirit Halloween to almost have kind of like a fly. Say if you had like a fly trap room, and then you have like the light up flies that fly around the room that look like they're all over the walls, and you have like, say, like a guy that's getting eaten by a fly in the corner. That's really cool with retroactive stuff, and pair him with the scientist from right before. You have some very makings of some props that you could combine very easily. That's awesome. Now this I like, as it says Sinister Stag. I'm from the Midwest, so deer are very common, especially bucks. And this just reminds me of like something off of Krampus, or obviously Haunted Reindeer. Let's see what this guy is. So that's pretty cool. I mean, if you did like a haunted, say like you did a haunted Cabela's or a haunted like petting zoo, petting farm, and put him in there, I'm kind of stuck on where I would put him other than just like the woods. He's definitely a unique prop. I'd maybe stick him as like a reindeer for like if you had a haunted sleigh for Santa, like an evil Santa, or the Terrifier Santa that came out this year for Spirit. Maybe stick him with him. You have the 8-foot inflatable xenomorph. Now this guy, when I saw him, I'm like, good lord, this is just nightmare fuel. Okay, this is Blind Box Breaker Bill, the escaped convict. And this is, so growing up, I used to always be afraid of like a sane asylum, like the whole straitjacket, and you know, like you're possessed, like old women, old men, children, like that's terrifying. So when I saw this, it reminded me a lot of Victor Zsasz, but the amount of blood that they did not shy away from, he's going to be very unsettling for kids. And I think that it's good that they're bringing back some of the scariness to Halloween. And so I'm excited to see this guy.
They strapped me down and tried to fry me. Sparks in my skull. But it only jolted me awake. Now run while you can.
I absolutely love him. I think he is fantastic. I used to go to a haunt that was called The Haunting, which is where I got my name from, in Michigan, where they had a prison theme, and you would walk through these gates, and they had a guy that was obviously getting the electric chair. So if you put him in kind of like you could put him in like a courtroom awaiting resentencing, or you could put him in his own prison cell. It'd be perfect. This guy, I cannot say more about. He's just fantastic. I think the way he moves, the way you could have an electric chair behind him, or you could have like one of those stand-up table chairs, or if you have him, man, just against like a wire fence that kind of zaps. It's perfect. That is one of my all-time favorites that they have so far this year. And that's, you know, there's a ton. Now we have Monstrous Medusa. Medusa I always thought was creepy. You know, how she had the snakes in the head and you could turn you to stone. This goes into like Greek mythology. So let's see here. If you do like an aquatic theme, or say like if you're in Florida and do a haunted theme that way, just like with all the the alligators, shipwrecks, scuba diving, she'd work perfect.
Welcome to the land of the Gorgons, where my sisters and I rule with an iron fist. You have trespassed, and now you must face the consequences. The question is, should I let my servants pick at you one by one, or turn you into stone before you've been torn into 100 pieces?
Okay, so the fact that the snakes move on their own is very well done. If I was a child and this came, like I saw this on a haunt, I would be terrified. It's not for me just because I don't do too much in Greek mythology, even though it's awesome. But yeah. Now we have Cousin It from the Addams Family, and who does not love the Addams Family? It's classic Halloween that all the family can enjoy, and for $150, that is a steal. Okay, the soundtrack already is a banger. I love how you could just put him in, like, say if you had like a nightclub and stick him in the corner, or stick him somewhere where he's like dancing to the music, because Cousin It was always the guy to throw a cool party. That's well done. That's really nice. Next we have the Zombie Cheerleader. So I do love the Fear team, and the whole costume design. It looks pretty well put together. Now, I know with zombies, they are kind of, they make grunts. They don't actually speak English or a language. And why I get the premise of it, and I do enjoy it, because it reminds me of Cedar Point used to do a zombie high school haunt, which was very well done. She would have been perfect in this. I am not the biggest fan of the music tied to the grunt face she makes, and like the sounds. I mean, I get it to zombie. It's a little off for me, and I love zombies. It's just, I don't know. I can't do it on that one. I don't mind it, but it's just, that one's not for me. Now this is the Ghost Librarian, which is terrifying because this falls into some of my childhood memory, like Scary Librarian, or like from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the second one where you go into that old guy's like bookstore. This reminds me of that, and the fact that her rib cage lights up with the red lights and the candles, that's freaky.
This book is for my eyes only. Who dares disrupt my reading?
Get out! This is not your story!
Gone. Cowards never finish the tale.
Okay, I absolutely love her. I instantly, as soon as I started hearing the voice and the music, I hope the music is included, that it instantly reminded me of if you had a cool library scene, or Cedar Point does a Midnight Syndicate, or they do like a Mr. Midnight haunt theme where he has like this spell book and theme. If you stick her in kind of like a corner section area like this here, with a library and a bunch of books surrounded by her, and kind of just off to the side, and like you walk into the room, and as soon as you walk into the room, she notices you and starts the dialogue, that's terrifying. Okay, I would maybe add a little bit more paint to make her a little more ghastly or darker here, but overall, this thing is terrifying. If I have a haunted library, well, not haunted library, if I have a personal library, I'm putting her in there. That is fantastic. It's one of my favorites this year by far. Okay, you have another Leatherface here. You have Sabrina the Fortune Teller. Now, I'm always a sucker for fortune tellers just because of, Tom Hanks is big and just they're really creepy. It reminded me a lot of the one of the scenes in the movie VHS.
The phantoms have been whispering of your arrival. Come, I shall reveal what they foretold. Ah, yes, I see it clearly. A journey lies ahead. But beware, for it leads to a shadowed end.
Okay, I absolutely love her. I love the fortune teller theme. If you did a haunted carnival and you had her right at the front of the queue, maybe right next to the line where people could take pictures with her. I love that it's a standard animatronic, but it doesn't do too much. There's not a lot of audio, which I actually love in this part. Add some fog machine around her, put her in the very front. She's gonna draw people in alone just to take pictures, but also to set the ambiance of the haunt, like really bring in the theme of like a haunted carnival or like a gypsy, that type. That is, wow, that's really well done. That I would definitely pick up if I had that type of haunt. I absolutely love this animatronic. Now you have a wind-up doll. Now this reminds me a lot of, they did kind of a doll, Spirit Halloween did a doll theme last year, I think it was, 2 years ago.
I like to watch you when you are sleeping. Don't worry, I'll stand right next to your bed.
Now, I like how it rises and falls like a doll would do with a wind-up mechanism behind them. That is really well done, especially with this, on how it goes forward and back. The clothing, to me, looks fantastic. The rips, the marks here. I think it's and for the price of $200, it's fantastic. Again, that's nightmare fuel for me. So it's like, man, I mean, it's cool. If you had, again, a Victorian dollhouse, I've seen some haunts where you go in and it's a girl there and she's like, don't touch my dollies. And she has a bunch of dolls all around the haunted house. You could put this in there. Now we get back to some of the more happier side of this. We have the gorgeous, the vintage pumpkin witch. Now this to me is fun. This is like vintage Halloween from like the 50s, 60s. That I could see a lot of people flocking over this just because it's whimsical, it's fun, it brings back that childhood Halloween version to us. I'm excited to see this video here. For $130, that's a good price.
Happy Halloween! I've been brewing something special tonight.
Okay, she's gonna go over well with families. Not if you don't want to do like a super scary Halloween, put her on your front porch. She'll sell really well. I actually really like this prop. I'm not getting it, but it's going to be very well done. That's just cool. Halifax the Hungry. That's terrifying right there, just that photo. But yeah, let's see what this. Obviously, it's a photo op prop.
Step right up and let
Okay, that's just cool.
frame your final moment. This pose will haunt you forever. A picture's worth 1,000 screams.
Okay, so the fact that you can go into this prop and take a photo is fantastic. I love how it includes people in the prop itself. You know, people, especially if you're waiting in line for a haunted house, they want activities to do, they want stuff to keep them entertained. This obviously will help take people's minds off stuff, you know, the wait, and they'll be able to go inside, take this, you know, photo op. I love how a picture is worth 1,000 screams. That line is fantastic. That's really well done. If you have a theme park or a haunted house, definitely pick that guy up. You another inflatable Huggy Wuggy. This you have a Krampus. Now this I like because Spirit Halloween, gosh, I don't know how many years ago. I think it was 20. Man, I want to say that was 2020, maybe a little bit later than that, 2021. They did the Krampus from the movie. This is more of like your Krampus from the German folklore, like your actual how it's depicted. This is terrifying, okay? I took German in high school, and I remember learning about Krampus, and I was like, my God. Like, that is... No wonder children have trouble sleeping and around December 5th. Like, let's see this guy.
Where St. Nicholas gives, I take. He leaves sweets, I leave scars of fear. Together we balance the scales, light and shadow. Remember, child, without me, Christmas would be far too sweet.
Okay, if you're a child, that is pure nightmare fuel. Even to me, that's a little unsettling. I like how he describes how Christmas would be without him, and he's kind of like your evil Santa per se. Very well done. That's if you do a winter haunt and you have Krampus, that's just cool. Now we have Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously in his Christmas getup. Jack to me, you know, is a classic. This would work as a Christmas decoration, or if you did like a Christmas and Halloween mix type haunt.
You're right. Something is missing. But what? I've got the beard, the coat, the boots. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
I like him. I know he'll sell just because The Nightmare Before Christmas has a huge cult following. He would be cool if you did like some of the fake snow. I'd put him in the front yard possibly for Christmas decor. He's more Christmas than I feel than Halloween, but still really well done. This guy is terrifying. I remember seeing him out of the corner of my eye when I was scrolling on the page. I was like, by God, that is, if I was a kid, I would not go towards this thing whatsoever. He's $230, stands at 7 feet tall. Like, this guy already would give me nightmares.
Fade into darkness.
Oh.
There you are. It's time.
So that's just pure nightmare fuel right there. Put him in a black room with nothing else in the room, just a bunch of fog, maybe some creepy old vintage pictures and stuff. That he's going to terrify people. That's my goodness. That is so cool. And it's also terrifying. Like, I would not want to walk into a haunted house, like a room by myself, and have this guy there. That's just creepy. Next, we have the potted predator plant. I actually like this. My dad has a big green thumb and loves planting stuff. So we grow these grasses that grow to like 12 feet, 13 feet tall. If you have him in there, that would just be entertaining. Or on the side of a house. I'm excited to see what this guy does. Now, obviously, he kind of does just one motion. I would stick him in the middle of like a grass. We have a grass theme. Well, not theme, but we have grasses. This is what I'm talking about over there through the window. They grow fairly large. So that's what I would do with him. I think he is very, very cool. That is, yeah, it's still pretty, I don't mind the head motion. It's a unique take of like haunted plants. So it's well done. Okay, now you have the alien spaceship. Now, I know Hunt Farmer specifically loves sci-fi, and he loves aliens, so I have no doubt he'll probably be picking this one up. I need to watch his video, because I'm very excited to see how he reacts to this. Who doesn't love a good alien spaceship, like a UFO crashing in your front yard? That is just cool. I want to see what the video does. But just alone, if you put fog machines, and if you get some of the aliens from distortions, like the realistic looking ones, yeah. Or even just the ones here from Halloween costumes. I love the lighting on the UFO and how it looks like it's crashed into the ground and it's kind of like signaling for help. It's simple, but yet it works very effectively. People are instantly going to gravitate towards it, literally, and they're going to know, what this is. Next, we have the Princess Bride Rowis animatronic. Now, I actually have not seen the movie The Princess Bride. I know a lot of people love this. The haunted rat type thing is pretty creepy. My grandpa has a farm, and I always was afraid of big rats that he had in his basement or on the farm area in like a barn. So this is pretty cool. I don't mind him. I would have liked it if he was gray rather than brown. He's definitely an indoor prop. It's unique. I don't mind the voice or like the audio to it. I would maybe make it a little different, like kind of like the mouse squeak, and maybe make the mouth move. But he's not bad. It's all right. All right, we're gonna go to page 2. That was just page 1. My goodness, like here we have some more. So we have the cotton candy cocoon from Killer Clowns. We have the alien face hugger inflatable. We have the Johnny Depp Scissorhands bowl holder, the Ghostbusters car, the inflatable groundbreaker, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, another UFO that is inflatable. We have a killer crane, which I think is very cool. I'm excited to see what this does. I'm hoping the jump scare on it's good. So again, I love this. I think his mechanicism, the way he jumps up fairly quickly, I think it will work well. Sometimes when these jump too much, they break over time. And I think he would do well if he did like a haunted arcade, or like if he did a Five Nights at Freddy's, stick him in there as well. It's pretty cool, especially the haunted carnival. You can't go wrong. Obviously, here's kind of the same thing with a haunted Colonel popcorn bucket. Popcorn machine. I love going to the movies, and who does not love popcorn? So it looks like he's going to be along the same lines. That's cool. I like this. I wish that if you could find a way to seal around the side to where popcorn wouldn't get in, and put legit popcorn in, so every time he pops up, popcorn pops up with him, I think he'd be more effective. I think it's really well done. He'd be cool to have in a movie theater, especially around Halloween time. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm doing mainly just the animatronics, because there's a lot to cover here. We have the Sweet Treat Saul, the ice cream clown. I love ice cream. Again, it's clowns, but we'll see.
You heard it here first, folks. Free sweet treats to all the little boys and girls this Halloween night. I have ice cream flavors to die for.
So I don't really like the audio. I would have had him just standing still like how he is here in an ice cream factory, rather than lunging forward. Just him alone is creepy. When you see him like with the sign lit up, you can't really tell what it is. So I'm not the biggest fan. Just him in the daylight alone is well done. If you have an ice cream store, definitely stick him in there. But I would have taken out the audio and the lunging on him. Now we have a demon gargoyle. So what I'm going to do, I'm just making sure I'm in the right... So I'm just going to do just the animatronics. I'm sorry, there was a lot. So I just want to make sure I cover all of those first rather than go through everything. I want to make sure that I give the right content to you guys. And here we have Malnuhatep. This is the bound mummy. Now this I absolutely love. I love mummies, and you know, the wrapping here, the face sculpt, the design, the bandages. This is really well done. Okay, the fact that he does not do... He's only $60, which is fantastic. This reminds me a lot of Halloween growing up in the 90s with like a simple animatronic that it doesn't need a giant audio line. It just has like simplistic red eyes. You know, it moves a little bit. It's creepy. You can stick him in a cemetery. You can stick him in a... you know, if you have like a coffin in the basement, like theme to your haunted house, he's gonna work perfect just as a haunted mummy, just decoration alone. I absolutely love him, and for $60, I'm going to be picking him up because it's just, you can't beat that price, and for the size of him, and you know, if he breaks or if something happens, you can always buy another because he is $60. Okay, page 2. Sorry about that. So here is the Lady Lagore double face animatronic. I love the costume design and kind of the eyes here. If you saw her from far away, she definitely looks realistic. I'm excited to see what the video is. For $80, you can't beat it. So it's not my favorite. I do like the head switching action, but you can tell it's kind of a type of cheaper animatronic to say. I mean, it's gonna work. It's not my favorite, but it is cool. I do like that it's under Screen, I believe, yeah, Scream Savers. So it is kind of like your more budget-friendly prop, which I enjoy about that. That I'm glad that they did, because not everybody wants to spend, you know, $300 or $250 a prop, which I totally understand. That's, you know, some of that is expensive. I can't believe we skipped over Sasquatch. That is pretty cool. He's doing his standard, you know, pose that you always see him in the photos. If you live in, say, anywhere out west, or I went to recently into Tennessee, he's perfect. Stick him in the woods or stick him near a haunted cabin. Okay, I absolutely love him. He's fantastic as Bigfoot. You can't go wrong with Bigfoot. Even if it's a bad Bigfoot, it's still Bigfoot. It's still cool. Um, that is awesome. Yeah, he's going to be really cool. I wish that makes me want to live out west just to have this proper, like in the woods, have a haunted area with just Bigfoot. Um, I've been to some props, or excuse me, some haunts where they have a like a pine forest area, and that's what they have is Bigfoot. So that is that's cool. Sorry, I don't mean to be skipping around here. I'm just trying to find all the stuff here. There's just so much. Where it's exciting because it really caters to every person here. Again, this is carnival theme, but this is what I love. It's like your old school vaudeville acts that they did. This is a fire eater. He's 10 foot tall, so that's exciting because you can't really tell that he's fake inside here. I mean, obviously you can, but I'm hoping...
Come on, my soul burns to show you a good time.
Okay, I love this prop. The fire on that, look, from that video alone, that small clip looked realistic. The fact that he's 10 feet tall, you know, he's going to appear menacing, and the way he moves back and forth with his hands like this, he'd be perfect in a carnival theme, perfect at an entrance, perfect anywhere in the carnival theme. I absolutely love that. His old style vaudeville act really really stands out. That is really well done. Now we have the Demon Gargoyle.
It's been so long since I've fed. The taste of fear, the sound of bones cracking. You came to the wrong place.
Now that guy is pretty cool. He'd be cool in a cemetery. A great, you know, that's instantly what I think of, or I don't know why my brain is going towards Fantasia, but he's not for me, but in a cool cemetery theme in like your front yard or backyard, he would fit in perfectly. Obviously, we have Shock, Lock, and Barrel here from The Night Before Christmas. These guys will sell just because, once again, it is Nightmare Before Christmas. This is definitely going to be a must on a lot of people's list.
We do our best to please him and stay on his good side. I wish my cohorts weren't so dumb. I'm not the dumb one. You're no fun. Shut up. Make me. I've got something. Listen now. This one is real good. You'll see. We'll send a present to his door. Upon there'll be a note to read. Now in the box there wait and hide. So this curiosity entices him to look inside, and then we'll have him want to.
And now that song is stuck in my head. Kidnapped of Santa Claus. Ta 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 ta. Yeah. Thanks a lot for that prop. These guys are cool. Obviously, if you're a huge Disney fan, Nightmare Before Christmas, people are going to pick them up alone just for that solely. Yeah, that's... All right, now we have the other Leatherface here. This, I'm excited to see what he does compared to the Pretty Woman Leatherface. I'm hoping he still has the same type of animatronic, like the movement the other one did. Uh-oh. Gotta refresh the page. Come on, video. Again, I do love the head shaking and the arms shaking with the blade. And he looks like he's right out of the film. I like compared to other Leatherface animatronics that we've seen where they just slowly move up and down. This definitely is a more realistic take on it, especially with the arms moving, and you can see the muscles here and the whole animatronic shaking as well. Okay, I believe that's all of them covered for that page. My goodness, there was a lot. Oh, no, we got two more. So we have the double-faced bride. Now, she is $79.99. She's part of the Scream Savers collection.
Can you see me?
Now, when she first started, "Can you see me? Hello," and she would just be like this, that's terrifying to me. When she turns around and kind of looks like the Swamp Thing monster, that's where I kind of lose it. I'm like, eh. If she just did that and you kind of did like a haunted church area or like a cemetery, she's grieving over her long lost husband, that would be perfect. I'm not sold on the face turning. I would probably just leave her how she is right here, because that's just terrifying to me. And then you have a 6-foot witch. This reminds me a lot of Home Depot, where they had their witch flying in the air. I don't mind witches. This is the type of witch that I like, where they're that old school. It's still definitely pretty creepy. You can see how tall it is here. I honestly would wish it would be a little bit taller, especially if she's in the air. All right, page 2 here. Holy crap, there's a ton. Okay, we're going to keep going. So, man, I want to find what's new. Okay, so I'm going to do what's new just for now. I'm sorry I keep skipping around. I am newer to their website, as you can tell. We have Emil the Button Eye Boy. What the heck? That's just terrible. That's nightmare fuel right there, guys. I'm excited to see what video he does. My gosh, he is tall too. Like, oh wait, no, he's not. Sorry. Okay, he's a short little guy. For $30, you can't beat him. That's pretty cool if you had him like a little toy factory. Some of these are repeats from last year, I'm seeing, which is okay. You know, that's going to happen. They have a huge website. They've been around since the 90s. They just have so many cool stuff. Looks like we'll cover this last page here, and then I will conclude the video. That's no problem. We're going to go with Jumpy Juniper, the Startling Scarecrow. Now, these guys always have a soft spot for me because I loved the original Jumping Scarecrow from Spirit Halloween. Looks like he just simply jumps upwards. I do love the type of classic decor style with the eyes and the farmer look to him. Not very much to him. I'd probably grease him up a little bit, get like some dirt on him and rips in the pants and everything, and make him a little more scarier. We have Puppeteer Pete here. Looks like he's also part of the Scream Saver collection for $60. He's cool. You know, he bounces around with a little skeleton here. Not bad. We have Wilhelmina, the Wailing Woman. Now, as a kid, this goes right under my nightmare fuel, especially, I mean, look at that face. That's just terrifying. This is really cool. They don't have a video for it, but she stands almost 5 foot tall. You know, that's classic Halloween to me. That I absolutely love. We had the Banshee Bride. So this one I mentioned like with the bride earlier. This is kind of what I was going for. Obviously, with her doing, you know, the scream, it makes it a little more terrifying. $50, that's a good deal. Yeah, I'm ashamed that not many of these have videos, it looks like. They probably just rock back and forth, which is okay. This guy here looks like he just rocks back and forth. He's a Reaper. You know, this reminds me a lot of Halloween City or old time Halloween USA. And these do have a soft spot in my heart because I like the old school red light for the eyes. I know not everybody likes them. They like the servo technology and the realistic. But to me, these will always scream classic Halloween to me. That's just, it's cool. Here's the groom to go with the bride, which I think is entertaining because it reminds me a lot of Beetlejuice. So you can do a whole wedding ceremony. You can do the Shrieking Spectre. She's like another angel type here. I'm going to just try to go through these pretty quickly here, because it looks like these are all their Scream Savers. This is the Chained Nurse. Oh, that's terrifying as a kid. And like the haunted asylums, no thanks. I'm skipping that one in real life, but it's really well done if you wanted just kind of like a small something to add to your theme. This is Phidion, the Goat Demon. I don't really do too much in demons or like that type of stuff here. It's not really for me. It's okay. I wish, obviously with the $60 price, the wings are going to be made out of cloth. I get that. It's okay. This guy I actually really love. He's Creepy Jeeves, the pumpkin greeter. I love anything pumpkins. And the fact that they have this sculpt on here is just classic Halloween to me. And I would add more leaves to him, put him right in a pumpkin patch. He's fantastic. This, to me, for $60, that is a steal, and he is fantastic. Now we have the Warding Reaper. This is pretty cool. Obviously the classic scythe here of skulls and the eyes. It's another Reaper. The witch here is, cackling witch. Obviously she laughs, stands up. This, it's again your 90s Halloween. The clown here, I don't mind. I know he'll sell just because he's a cheaper clown. And clowns, for some reason, they always sell no matter what, year after year. Now, this witch I actually find scarier than the others. This is the Storybook Witch. She's got her potions here that I love. And I love the face detailing and how this will glow red at night. You put some fog around her and she will be perfect. If I had a witch area, I would definitely scoop her up for $80. That is a steal. Put her around like a cauldron with some fog. This is perfect. Or if you do like a witch area in like your backyard or front yard, that's awesome. Now we have the red-eyed girl, Emily. Just for $30, you could put her in like a doll's room area. Like a small animatronic for only $30. It's not bad. The animatronic demon, this reminds me of Spirit Halloween's demon they did a couple years ago where he jumps up and lunges. This guy, even though I don't really do demons and stuff for Halloween, it is really cool. If you see this on a breezy October day in the middle of the afternoon with some pumpkins, that to me just screams Halloween, and I love it. I did not expect to see this here. I think it's awesome. It's Uncle Sam. I'm a big history nerd and marketing guy, so I love Uncle Sam, and that's just entertaining. He would be cool to have on 4th of July.
Oh, say, can you see
Oh my goodness.
by the dawn's early light
That is
what so
awesome. The fact that they've got this like
at the twilight's
creepy Uncle Sam that looks kind of soulless with his eyes, and he sings the national anthem. That is if you did like a war theme, like say you do like humans versus aliens, and you put him kind of like leading the charge, or put him like in a press booth and like he is going over your mission operatives at the beginning to like lead you into battle for your fight against the aliens. That's what I would do. For $250, I would definitely pick this guy up. Not just alone for 4th of July, but the humans versus alien theme, that would be really cool. Put him there as like, onwarding the troops forward. That I did not expect to see. That's cool. All right, let's get back to where we were here. Animatronics. H2. Okay. You have a top patches. The Peekaboo Clown. The face is terrifying. Yeah, that's just scary. And it's well done. I mean, for $80, you can't beat that. You have your Broken Back Girl, which is obviously, it's a classic from years past.
Where did everybody go? They're all
All gone. And you're next!
Obviously, you know, this does reappear year after year, which is really well done and cool. I've seen it year after year. That's the hard part. Looks like now we're getting into a lot of our kind of newish decor that has already appeared. I'm going to check one more time here just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so I do got a couple more here. That's okay. Well, more than a couple. We're going to go over them. We have this muted mummy. I love this with the eyes and the glowing. It reminds me of something out of Scooby-Doo. Mummies to me I'm always a sucker for them. So 130, that's really well done. The carnivorous plant, once again, plant themed. We don't get many haunted plants. So the fact that we see this here, I like. Let's see the video on it. I like that it doesn't do much. It's simple. It doesn't talk, it doesn't make, you know, too much noise. You can stick it with other man-eating plants around it to make it look like it's just one giant one. That's really well done. Obviously, you have a mock of Pennywise, the original. This clown, I actually, man, why does this guy look? This guy, when I went to CVS, I bought a clown just like this guy. And he looks really familiar. That's not bad. That is that's unique. Now, I feel like a lot of these here, we're getting towards kind of like the Scream Saver stuff, which is okay. Obviously, you've got your werewolf here. I'm going to go over just a couple of these more, and then I'm going to wrap up the video. Just because we have so many. Now, I do love a good werewolf. They are absolutely badass, and like lycanthropy and stuff. Let's see this guy. So he is 7 foot tall. Let's see the video. Now, I like him. I wish he'd tear the clothes apart more. I'm still waiting on that Van Helsing werewolf. That's one of the best werewolves we've ever gotten in film, in my opinion, besides the werewolf from An American Werewolf in London. That is really well done. Let me see here. I'm just trying to see more on their website. Okay, obviously you have more of their Brick Thunder stuff, which is cool. He designed stuff here. It looks like it's more of the kind of clown area. Animatronics. Let's see. I'll just go over just a couple more. Okay, let's see. So we're going to go over this guy for sure, the spider guy. And let me see, anything else pretty... So yeah, we'll do the spider guy because he's the new... That's just terrifying to me. That's nightmare fuel. Spiders in general are creepy. People do not like spiders. The fact you could stick him in a spider room along with spiders on the walls and like the lights where the spiders are climbing. I love the face sculpt on this and the multiple eyes and the teeth. I don't know if he has a video. He does not have a video, but still really well done. I love, he's more of a statue, but that's really cool. You could stick him anywhere in like a spider area, haunted lab. So I'm going to turn this back around. I just wanted to say, if you've stuck this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. This is my haunting where Halloween lives here. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to come out with more content as much as I can. Definitely, I will have one upcoming on the new Michaels stuff. They are trying to get more inventory in their store right now in my Jackson location. But I love doing these videos for you guys. It definitely is enjoyable. It helps bring the Halloween spirit around. Thank you so much for watching and have a great night, guys.